What's up guys, T here, back with a bit more Hearts of Iron 4 footage. Today we're going to be talking about the diplomacy screen, what it is, what it does, so on and so forth. So basically it's right up here. If you open it up, you can click on any country, kind of view your diplomatic efforts with them. Also, if you don't have it open, if you just right click on any country without clicking on anything else but just the country's territory itself, it opens it up. So that's also another little quick way to get to it. So without further ado, let's break it down a little bit. So what you're going to see is, Italy doesn't have a lot going on, let's not do that. UK, here, that works. So right here you're going to see their leader, a lot like the political screen, what they're researching. This is a little different. You can actually see what the relation is between the two countries. So UK has a -10 opinion of Germany, and Germany has a -10 opinion out of UK, and that's got a 100 cap either direction, plus or minus. And obviously the minus is dislike and the plus is like. If you get the lower you get, the more likely they are to declare war upon each other, one way or the other. So it doesn't have to be mutual dislike. If just one dislikes the other, they can declare war. So just a heads up with that one. Down here on the left here, you're seeing the diplomacy. This is kind of a quick run through of what this country has active diplomacy going on with. So this is going to show, this is their allies, this is their faction, this is the allies they have. So they're allied with Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, and British Raj. That's just the Commonwealth. And they're also puppeting the British Raj, which is right there, which is part of their allies. So that just kind of gives you a rundown. There's a lot more things that can pop up in here. It's just this game's really early on, so nothing's really going on quite yet. Something else to look at is you can declare war. You cannot declare war until you justify a war goal. So what you have to do with that is you hit justify war goal, you hit conquer, you pick a territory that you want to conquer, and it'll cost you X political power and last you X days before you can declare war. So what this is it's going to take a certain amount of political sway with your people over a certain amount of time to convince them that going to war with this country for this reason is an actually good idea. So that's what this is for, to kind of simulate political or popular support for the war. So that's why you have to do this, and you just hit send, and you go ahead and go to war with them. You can then, no, you don't go ahead and go to war with them. You start justifying it, and when it finishes that 250-day period, then you have the option to declare war. And that's an available war goal. So once you have an available war goal, it'll pop up here. You can do it, declare war. And war goals, once they're justified, they have a limited amount of time that you can actually declare war before it expires and the justification goes away. So your people lose support for it after a certain amount of time if you don't declare war. So just a heads up with that, to plan your justifying accordingly. Don't just think that it'll sit around waiting forever, because you will just waste that time and that political power if you do not declare war at the end of it, if you change your mind or you did it for the wrong reason or something like that. Going down, guaranteeing independence. Basically, democratic nations mostly do this. They'll guarantee smaller countries independence. It helps lower world tension, and it helps create alliances for them. Next is ask for military access. That just means you can move troops through their country. Offer it, same, they can move troops through your country. Improve relations. It helps improve this number up here. So like if Germany improved relations with the UK, this number here, the UK opinion of Germany, would go up. So that works. It costs 10 to start, and then it costs 0.4 per day. It would cost less if we were the same ideology, but since we're differing ideologies, it costs 0.4. If you're the same, it costs 0.2. You can sign a Non-Aggression Pact. That just means you won't declare war on each other. You can invite to faction, which you can't because they're part of their own faction. You start a Lend-Lease. So Lend-Lease and volunteers are actions you can perform to a country if they're at war but you're not in that war. So you can send them equipment during a Lend-Lease, or you can send them volunteers, which are actual divisions, to fight for them, and you control these volunteers that you send. You actually have physical control of them in the war. They get transported, shipped over to the war, and then you get to control them from there. There's a limit on how many volunteers you can send. It's like, I think it's about 10%. It's probably not the exact number, but that seems to be about what it calculates is what you can send as volunteers. Next is Expeditionary Force. You send this. This is something you send to, like, your allies if you're fighting in the same war. You send an Expeditionary Force. Basically, you just gift them whatever divisions you send, for the time being. And then whenever you don't want them to have any more, you just call them back via return expeditions. So then you get those divisions back after that. So they get to control them if you send Expeditionary Force. Next thing is boost party popularity. So you can boost a popularity for a certain party in that country. So I could start influencing the UK to become fascist, and it would change at 0.05 per day and cost me 0.25 political power per day. So that's just something you can do with it. Or you can stage a coup. So if there's enough political support for a different ideology within the country, so you're going to want it to be significant support, like 40%, 30%, 30% about. You can start a coup, and you can actually, what you do is you start this, and then you choose where you want it to start, and you start building equipment. You send them equipment subversively into the country, and then all of a sudden a civil war breaks out after a certain amount of time, after the coup is sufficiently staged, and then a civil war breaks out. So that's that. That's kind of how your political or your diplomatic screen breaks down, and what you can do with it, different things and how they function. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked this, there's going to be more content like this coming out, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.